Breaking news, actor and musician Jussie Smollett from the hit show Empire was attacked and beaten early this morning in Chicago, and police say it could be a hate crime.
Yeah, we are in a post-racial society, right?
Jussie Smollett from Empire was the victim of a brutal, heinous hate crime.
Oh, really? It's a hate crime, so there's no speculation there. It's just he was the victim of a brutal, heinous hate crime.
It all started when two individuals yelled out racial and homophobic slurs.
They haven't caught anybody. There's no video footage of this. It's just a guy saying a story.
His name is Jussie Smollett, and he was beaten, and it seems like it was a racially and sexual orientation motivated beating.
Two men approached him, two men, white men.
White men, oh, they were white men. That's key, very key. That one word, the white part of that sentence, is the only reason you're hearing this.
It's seemingly both racially and motivated by sexual orientation. It just sucks.
It's almost mythical, these two guys, two white men in ski masks. Now, is it possible? Yeah, everything's possible. Is it likely? No, not at all. And also, even if they did beat this guy up, totally unjustified, they still have a side of the story. There's still another perspective here. We cannot be this gullible as a society. And the millions of people who are now going to waste our mental energy to look at this story and hear their biased perspective and just be like, oh, cool. And by the way, this is meant to divide us even further.
The two shadowy figures wanted for questioning in the assault of Empire actor Jussie Smollett have been tracked down by police.
Rabia, the attorney for those two persons of interest, she was with both of those men for much of the day. She says that both of them were picked up at O'Hare last night at Customs. They were actually in Nigeria visiting family, and at some point last night, Chicago police were also at their family's home.
But then the very next post I saw was from Taraji, right, and it said, hey, vicious attack, blah, 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 blah. The third line was, oh no.
Stream his music.
Stream his music. Make sure his music is streamed 50 million times. Wait a minute now. You're not telling me that somebody involved in a hate crime is, you're trying to promote their music. That just don't seem right to me.
That didn't even feel like Taraji saying that. I could never see Taraji saying that. And I don't know her, but it was just,
I don't know her
felt
either.
Weird.
And if it didn't feel weird, it felt weird coupled with Lee Daniels' post and delete, and it felt a whole lot weirder when the video of whatever single she was promoting had a dude with a noose in it. Oh, I had to learn why I couldn't immediately come tell y'all that I had a fight with 7 niggas the day before the third story video shoot. Mm-hmm. And I told some people that were in my best interest. Mm-hmm. And some of the conversation was, let's come up with a story. I'm telling you that when famous people are doing something that they have no business doing, sometimes stories are created to protect against that.
Absolutely.
And what better way to do it than something that no one will question, which is a hate crime. You guessed it. I'm going to put icing on the cake and make it 2. You black nigger and you gay bastard. That is appealing to a multitude of audiences.
Yeah, for sure.
We're in an era today where emotions are manipulated by the powers that be. I'm not saying that is what's happening, because I do believe that he was attacked. Did you guys hear the story that was on Reddit? You did? Yeah, you did? Yes? Yeah. Should we share with the audience? Should I do it? Should y'all do it?
Lovers quarrel. He was flirting with somebody else's boyfriend or lover.
And they followed him home from the gay nightclub in Chicago that he frequents often. And they beat him up. And not saying I believe that, but when I see the pictures of him beat up, that's how it looked.
And who's walking around in cold Chicago with bleach at 3 in the morning?
Well, forget about that. I never met a kind racist that was attacking me.
Right.
If you're telling me that somebody who hated the fact he was black and gay attacked him, that don't match the picture I saw. That's me. That's me. All I'm saying is there is at least 25 different reasons to be a little skeptical.
Source with intimate knowledge of the Jussie Smollett investigation tells CBS 2 investigator Brad Edwards the attack on Smollett was potentially orchestrated by the actor himself and involved 2 other men.
Oops, there goes the neighborhood. Potentially fabricated. Well, it's probably somewhere in between. Probably exaggerated, probably intentionally spun. You know, something happened, but it ain't the something we've been told, and that's enough.
Chicago police calling those reports unconfirmed. We've also learned the persons of interest worked on the actor's show. Only CBS 2 got a look at evidence obtained during a police raid. You can see investigators removed an Empire script, in fact. Our night team's Charlie DeMar broke the story at 6, and he's got even more exclusive details tonight.
Rob, good evening. And we are being told that those 2 brothers who are currently in police custody left for Nigeria the same day of that alleged attack. They returned last night only to be detained at O'Hare Customs. Today we spoke exclusively with the attorney for those 2 men. She tells me that after talking with Chicago police detectives that her 2 clients, those 2 brothers, could be charged as soon as tomorrow. Officers were at the home taking several items, leaving behind this inventory list of some of the items taken: a black face mask hat, an Empire script, a phone, receipts, a red hat, and bleach. According to their attorney, Gloria Schmidt, the men have worked as extras on Empire and go to the gym with Smollett on occasion.
And see, what the hell is that? What kind of dude has that in his apartment? What? What is that? A guy with just the package and the freaking yoked up. What? They found that at their apartment? And that's what, a symbol of the gym? Or just a golden Adonis? I mean, this is gay.
Multiple sources tell ABC Witness News Jussie Smollett staged his attack with the help of others, allegedly because he was being written off Empire. Yeah, if you thought that there was actually white gay bashing Trump supporters in negative 20 degrees Chicago, who dumped bleach on him and said, "This is MAGA country." Like, I'm not kidding. You shouldn't be allowed to vote. You shouldn't be allowed to drive a car. Like, you're a threat if you're that dumb. But it gets even more interesting. They're starting to do these like all gay castings. And so there's a new show coming out that's all sodomites. It's only sodomy. It's just pure sodomy. And so he wanted to be the alpha sodomite. And so what's better than to be famous for being attacked by normal people? Scott Adams is such a douche. I used to love that show. I still like aspects of the guy, but it's like he's smart enough to know that CNN isn't accidentally wrong, and he keeps acting like it's an accident. He's like, I mean, this fake news seems so deliberate. Jake Tapper was trying to frame Donald Trump as an anti-Semite in response to, and he's using the examples. And I'm like, Jake Tapper is a Jew. Here's the thing, Jews. And I'm friends with some Jews. I'm not a Jew hater, but Israel has got to start pumping the brakes, man. Okay, so we can't fund our own border wall, right? Can't fund our own border wall. So Trump is declaring a state of emergency. Dude, he's playing with a glass. That's all right. He's having a blast. Man, I love giant white animals. If any Jew thinks that what I'm about to say is fine, you don't get it. You don't get it. So we can't afford our own border wall. We asked for $5.3 billion, and they gave us $1 billion. And so Trump's going to declare a state of emergency, and we're going to grovel and beg and plead so we can get a border wall. Do you know what's in the budget? $5.3 billion is being given to Israel on top of the 30-something billion over the next 10 years. They made it the exact amount that we wanted for our wall, and they're just giving it to Israel. Guys, that's on purpose, and it's to humiliate us. It's like they got $5.3 billion is being given to Israel for free. Oh, 5.7. Yeah, whatever it is. It's the same amount that we wanted for our wall. They're getting the exact amount to the decimal point. And it's like, that's just to rub it in your face. That's just to be like, hey, guys, we won't give you $5.7 billion for the thing that you desperately need. And Nancy Pelosi said that because Trump is declaring a state of emergency about our need to limit the flood of illegal voters coming into our country, she says she's going to do that about gun violence if there's a Democratic president. I warn you, if they try to declare a state of emergency and overturn our Second Amendment, there's going to be a lot of blood in the streets. So, I'm sure that's what the small cabal of Jews that are running all this want anyway, because they make money on chaos, but it's so bad. And so any Jews that are like, hey, you sound a little anti-Semitic, I'm like, dude, you guys are lucky people aren't killing you guys yet. It's like 5.7 billion exactly is going to Israel, and we can't pay for our own wall. That's so offensive. And I know it's not Jews. I know it's the lobbyists of Israel, and I know all that. But like anybody that doesn't say that that's bad is not my friend. Because I'm friends with Jews. I'm friends with Israelis. I'm friends with a lot of people. But like, if anybody's like, we deserve that 5.7 billion, and you don't deserve the border wall, I'm like, I never thought about this. I didn't have this like grudge against Israel until this year. And it's like, because they're rubbing it in our faces to the decimal point. Dude, there's conservatives, there's neocons that want the slave labor just as much as the left. They want the votes. The right wants the slaves. And that's why they can't agree. It's good. They're not actually right-wing, the people that are against it.